and Dragon.
Welcome to the fourth episode of tabletop storytelling games for inspired content for the week of the month of October. And the games we'll be looking at today are Dragonstrike. Well, I'm pretty sure this is not an absolutely complete set. There may be a missing piece or two, but this was a game produced by TSR, and it's sort of a role-play tabletop miniature adventure storytelling game. So I'll take a look at that and see what. I'll give a quick review at the end and give my thoughts and ideas that inspires from that point on. All right. Well, I'll see you there.
Also in here we have figures. That's the elf with the bow, an orc, a troll, dwarf. I don't know if you can see that very well. A warrior, a female thief, I think that's a male thief. It's the only ones that distinguish between gender. Magic user. These aren't orcs, these are bugbears. I apologize. Bugbear. Fire elemental. Some kind of fire monster, I guess. Dark wizard. And, I guess these are Death Knight. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. More of them. What is that? I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Might be from a different set. I have no idea. 3 of those. Gargoyle. Giant. Man Scorpion. And Dragon. Let's see the gargoyle. And a wing for the dragon. And legs for the man scorpion. There's a separate piece. And we've got an 8-sided and a 12-sided die.
Should be a 10-sided. I don't think it's in here. Not like I don't have a few. So those look to be the tiles we have. And the first, they have a book of adventures. The first one you'll see has, I guess, 10-minute gameplay. City for 1 hero, not a wizard. Easy level. Another one is 15. Cavern for 2 to 3 heroes. Easy. 4 to 5 heroes, 15 minutes in Castle. 20 City Special Solo Adventure. Average. And so they vary like that.
Okay, and then there's this book, which is the instructions. How to play. And types of maps that we have. Rolling the dice, guide to markers. Alright, and how to play. And then you start with your character's card. Character card has on the back of it the attack dice rolled, the speed of movement, 6 spaces. So D8 for dagger attack. Armor class is a 5 leather armor. And then the saves against magic, disarming traps, find secret passages, feat of dexterity, feat of strength. Hit points, you have a marker that slides up and down on the side to do that. Equipment. And every character has their own card. You'll notice here with the elf actually has 2 attacks. It has a D8 spear, but a D10 bow long range attack. Alright. And I've got the cards off to the side here. Getting started. You pick a Dragon Master to play the most important role in the game. They control all the monsters. They know where the monsters and traps and treasures lie. When somebody discovers something, it's the Dragon Master who reveals it. Dragon Master should take a look at stuff before they start. Dragon Master gets ready by choosing which adventure to do. Open the map book, which is this. So we're doing city. So that map is what we would use. And you use the Dragon Master screen with all the tips, tricks, and rules to calculate by and keep track of your monsters. You put the map behind the screen so nobody else can see it other than the Dragon Master. Sort out the cards. The magic treasure card, you only pick out the ones that are in the adventure. You hide them behind the screen so they don't know what treasure is available. Shuffle the trap deck. Put the hourglass marker on the board. Position the special monsters and treasures on your adventure map. Do not put anything on the board unless the text says so. Only a few adventures include the evil wizard. Okay, the player characters each take their character card with a marker on the edge for their hit points. And they take a reference card for their character. Thief. It has information on what you can and can't do. In the elf or the wizard get the chance to take spell cards. The wizard player briefly reviews the hero cards and chooses 4 cards marked first level, 3 second level, and 2 third level. And the elf player reviews the remaining hero cards and chooses 2 first levels and 1 second level. And the leftover spell cards get taken out of the board. And then you're ready to play. Turn sequence is, after every hero has had a turn, the Dragon Master plays. Every monster on the game board takes a turn when the Dragon Master plays. The Dragon Master controls all of the monsters, one at a time in any order. As soon as everybody has had a turn, 1 round of play has ended. If you wish to do nothing, your turn just say pass. You may also skip small portions of your turn. Each turn a hero can move, then perform 1 action, perform 1 action, then move. Actions include attack, cast a spell, search for treasure, find and disarm a trap, search for secret passages, question a monster, perform a feat of strength or dexterity. For the wizards and the elves, casting a spell is most important. For everybody else, attacking is the most common action. The Dragon Master, you can move any or all of the monsters on the game board during your turn. The monster's turn is simple. It can move and attack, or attack and then move. Only the evil wizard does more. He can cast spells instead of attacking. There's a time tracker. At the end of your turn, a Dragon Master moves the time tracker down the side of the board over here. To keep track of it. At the end of your turn, a Dragon Master moves the hourglass marker 1 space on the time track toward the picture of the red dragon. When the marker reaches the picture of the dragon enters the board. So the hourglass goes on this. This time tracker starts there. 1, 2, and so 20 turns later it lands on the dragon. And the dragon enters the board. Bum bum bum. Moving. Every monster and hero has a speed. Speed equals the maximum number of spaces the monster or hero can move each turn. A figure can move fewer spaces than its speed allows, or not at all. However, a figure can move in any direction, even diagonally. No one can pass through walls or doors. No one can move through a space containing an enemy. No one can stop in a space that already contains another figure. Flying and hovering. Leaving the board. Anyone who moves off the game board is out of the adventure. Figures cannot re-enter the board. You can close doors to trap monsters on the other side, but you cannot close a door if a monster is next to it. Only heroes and evil wizard can open doors. Multiple attacks. Some monsters get multiple attacks. Long range attacks. Sneak attacks. Dying. A monster who runs out of hit points is dead. So is a hero, unless he or she immediately uses a magic treasure that restores hit points. A dead hero is out of the game. A dead monster remains on the board for 2 rounds, face down. This gives heroes a chance to search its body for treasure. After the time is up, the Dragon Master removes the dead monster from the board. Casting spells. Area effects. Save versus magic. Searching. Opening a trapped chest. Search a monster. How do you use a treasure? To use a magical treasure, just follow the instructions on the card. So this one would give you a base armor class difference on your card. Phrase of armor. D for elf only, elven cloak. Makes you invisible in trees or bushes. So that might work up on the... not on this map, I guess. There's some grass, but there are no trees or bushes. Alright. Special hiding places. Sometimes treasure is out of sight in a special hiding place, such treasure is found when a hero searches for hidden passages. Find and disarm traps. Find secret passages. Some adventures include secret doors or entries, passageways that can't be seen right away on the board, except that the dragon. No figure can use these passages until a hero discovers them. A hero can search for a passage in 2 ways. Searching a room or building you're in. Search every square you can see up to 3 squares away. If you search a square that has a trap, you automatically trigger it. Question a monster. The Dragon Master's book has a thing that tells them whether or not that monster has anything to say. Perform a feat. Some common feats include climb, aim and throw, swing, leap, sneak, pass through a monster's space, jump over a short guy, crawl through a big guy's legs, so on and so forth. Pick a lock and search. Some common feats of strength. Push, pull, or throw a heavy object. Lift a heavy object. Kick a locked door to force it open. Bend something hard or strong. Break something solid. You can invent feats too. A feat must involve either dexterity or brute strength. During a turn, a hero cannot move farther than his or her speed allows. A feat cannot take the place of a direct attack. A feat must be a single action. If a feat involves an object, the object must be in play. The feat must seem possible. You can't kick down a wall. A thief's feat. Thieves can perform 2 feats that no one else can. Pick a lock and search a living monster for treasure. Both require dexterity. We must be next to them. Special terrain. The dragon. There's a breath attack. He can breathe fire. Yep. Moving. He can fly. And that's mainly it seems. Monster cards. Have all the data you need to deal with that monster. Expanding play. There are 16 complete adventures. They're replayable, and if you're an experienced Dragon Master, you can create your own adventures from the Dragonstrike game.
Dragonstrike. I'd say this game is actually really good the way it is, just for telling stories and play. I like this. It's sort of introductory Dungeons and Dragons, a simplified form of it, and it's not like advanced Dungeons and Dragons. It's very similar to the original D&D. So I'd say there's probably room for a little update and variance, but as it is, it can be fun for anybody to play right now. And you can tell several different types of stories with it. I would give it a 9.3 out of a 9.5. But it's even more fun to kind of dabble with ideas of where you can go with it further. So I really just want to play a game where each of you plays a different monster in a dungeon, building up the dungeon and making a lair and stocking up materials you've gotten from previous victories and building your lair. And it's always the heroes that come through that are the monsters that are they're the work of the dungeon master or whatever you want to call them, and they come through sort of like Godzilla through a city and just wreak havoc on your dungeon. And it's the build, set it up to be well defended area, and then repair afterwards and defeat the hero if they come through your section of dungeon. This one's a little weird, but a circus sideshow where you're trying to build an awe-inspiring performance of sideshow tricks or feats or performances that your characters each try to do something that gets reviews and ticket sales, and it's all done through the feat and tricks that the player characters have, like the ones they use in Dragonstrike. They have feats that you can do and achieve things, and by performing those tricks and feats and taking a few risks in certain areas, can you get your performance to a level that it gets the better reviews and whatnot. The obvious way to go with this, I think, is to do a science fiction version where you have space stations and moon bases that are overrun with, like aliens or invaders, and you have to take the place back. This one's just taking the whole idea backwards. Instead of trying to break into a castle or a dungeon or a cavern or a lair, try to break out of a jail or a dungeon and escape from an evil lord keeping people captive. Or just a general jailbreak, I don't know. Okay. A school, a mall, or something similar to that, where you play a group of teenagers who are secretly monster hunters, and amongst the milling teenagers in the area are teenage monsters disguised as humans, and you have to hunt them. I want to say, like, take a map of a city or a town, either fantasy, science fiction, or even just like a modern time setting, and have it being invaded by evil doppelgangers from the other sides of mirrors or a mirror universe, or however you want to get them in there. But it's always exact copies of your player characters' identities and abilities and equipment, but it becomes a game of one group of players against another group of players doing teamwork to see who could be the better team by arranging how to handle each other's doppelgangers. So it's just like, it's a method of all things being equal between luck and strategy between players and working together, who can better overcome the other side. Alright, so those are some of the ideas I got for Dragonstrike. Hopefully there's some inspiration in there for some of you. I know I have a couple ideas for games that I'm going to try to come up with some role play, or some play rules for play testing some designs. So, I'll see you for the next and last episode. Take care.